everybody, and welcome to this week's Dragonrider Happy Hour. I should probably say this month's Dragonrider Happy Hour at this point, because it's been so long since we've done one. You can see Bartender Nate moving around, getting some stuff done in the background. And hi, I didn't even post on Instagram that we were going live for this today. And if someone could do me a favor and post on Discord, or you know what, I can post on Discord. I have it right here. Welcome to Dragonrider Happy Hour, everybody. This is a live stream that I aim to do every Friday, but when I'm busy with other work, which I have been really busy with lately, it does not happen every Friday. So it's been a few weeks, and I've missed you. I have missed you. All right, let's see. Hi Shadex. Hi, everybody. All right. Let me just go ahead and live stream announcements so we can give some time for folks to get in here. Live, I can type today, for Dragonrider Happy Hour. There we go, at everyone. Speaking of the Discord, please go ahead and join the Discord if you have not already. Okay, so we just let everybody know that this thing is happening now. Huzzah. Huzzah, and welcome. Welcome, everybody. So, for those of you who've not been here for a Dragonrider Happy Hour before, basically this is me inviting you to my home bar so that we can discuss the latest gaming headlines over a drink, kick off our weekend, round out our work week, etc. So normally we kick off where Bartender Nate will explain what the drink of the week is, and sometimes he'll even post the drink recipe in Discord. So for those of you who are into cocktail mixology, this can be really, really fun. And let's go ahead and see if I can get Bartender Nate to describe what we're drinking today.
Hello, Dragon Riders, and welcome to the Dragon's Horde. That's the name of our bar.
Horde. You got to make sure to get the D in
The
there.
Dragon's Horde.
Duh. You're very silly. Very silly today.
Today's cocktail is a classic cocktail, the French 75.
Look how beautiful this is. I didn't even know we had glasses that looked like this.
Yeah, we just have those glasses.
Oh.
So, if you've never had a French 75 and you like champagne, this is probably a great drink for you. The base is gin, fresh lemon juice, and simple syrup. And then you just top it off with champagne or sparkling wine, right? And then that's just a little lemon twist as a garnish. Enjoy. Refreshing, delicious. Give it a shot, honey. What do you think?
I'm excited about it. Let's see.
It's an imposing glass.
Oh, it's very tasty.
All right, there you go.
Perfect.
Enjoy responsibly, whatever you enjoy.
Thank you so much, Bartender Nate. Huzzah! All right, so I'm going to move the camera back over this way. I'm going to move chat up a little higher so I'm not looking down all the time. Here you go. I didn't want chat to block the illustrious Bartender Nate, so there we go. Rob K says you're having a Long Island iced tea. TVR Creator says looks awesome. And yeah, it's kind of like a super champagne. Exactly. I'm with you, Beardtastic Yogi. Welcome. Eric Polson says I'm at work on break, so I can't drink with you guys, except tea. And you know what? Tea is totally fine for Dragonrider Happy Hour, so cheers. Cheers. And happy Friday to you all. So if you're here predominantly for the news, you've probably skipped past a lot of this by now, but I will do chapters for each of the different news topics that we talk about in case you're here just for that part of it. But if you're here to hang out, please welcome and hang out with me. It's good to see you all. Steven says chug, chug, chug. Ooh, this is not the type of drink you do that for. Alan's having some coffee. Esther Mel says, I'm still jealous of that hidden bar room. Yes, and there is a tour of that room on this very YouTube channel if you want to see more behind the scenes, if you will. It's very cool. Mark F says, I'm drinking my tears as I'm still at work. I'm so sorry, my friend. But hopefully you're in the home stretch. Steven's having a margarita. And Shade says, I don't have a drink either today. That's okay. You know, some of us are having coffee, tea, adult beverages of all different types, or just, you know, water or whatever feels good to you at the moment. That's great. But I'm glad that you're here to hang out and I appreciate you. So the topics, I'm going to switch this to my other hand. The topics that we are going to cover today include the future of E3, if there is one, a new Tomb Raider game, Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes, Epic Games and Lego collabing to make kind of a metaverse for kids, and Witcher Season 3 on Netflix and the updates that are going on with that. So that's what we're going to talk about. Like I said, if you want to skip around and you're watching this afterwards, you can skip to the various chapters. But if you're here, let's go ahead and dive in. Eric says, I love the outfit, Trisha, and the purple hair. You're so kind. Yes. Batman dress just felt appropriate for today. And the hair should be many different colors, but it's fading. I'm getting the colors redone tomorrow. So I'll have more vibrant RGB hair officially as of tomorrow. And thank you for the kind words. All right. So E3 2022 has officially been canceled. I don't know if you have seen that, but we talked about it here on Dragonrider Happy Hour before, and basically they already canceled the in-person version of it months ago, but we're kind of leaving it up in the air as to whether there would be a digital event, and now they have come forward and said no digital event either. That's the Entertainment Software Association that puts on E3. No E3 2022, but they did say, we look forward to presenting E3 to fans around the world live from Los Angeles in 2023. So a lot of my friends after that announcement were like, this is the end of E3, right? E3 is totally done forever. And I'm curious to get your thoughts. So the news broke from a tweet from a Razer PR lead, funny enough, who said that an email was sent out announcing the cancellation of the digital event. And then IGN later confirmed that email as well. But yeah, in January of this year, so just a couple months ago, they said no in-person event. And now here we are a few months later, and they're like, no digital event either. And I mean, Jeff Keighley's Summer's Games Fest is definitely happening right around the same time. And they were competing events last year, which was a little awkward. You know, and plus, as you guys know, a lot of the major developers and studios and publishers do their own events now anyway. It's pretty easy to produce I don't want to minimize it, but it's a lot easier to produce your own event now than it would have been to do it in a big space like at an E3 if you can do it digitally. We've seen this with Nintendo, PlayStation State of Plays, etc. Let's see. Steven Summers says, I will miss the spectacle at E3. That's how I discovered the wider gaming community. I think the community aspect of E3 is what I will miss the most. Getting to gather in person, see a whole bunch of friends in celebration of a shared passion that we all have. And the spectacle of it. I got to sit on the motorcycle from Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was awesome. I got to, hold a huge great axe from Monster Hunter and get my picture with it. And I will miss out on all that. I think the keynote part of E3 is just a very small portion of what made E3 special. So when you whittled everything down to just the keynotes, it lost its charm. The other thing I really liked about E3 was that people could get hands-on demos of things that wouldn't otherwise be out for months, right? And not just industry for press purposes, which was very nice for press purposes, but people who were just attending E3 could wait in line. Now, granted, you had to wait in line for a long time, but could wait in line to get a 30 to 40 minute demo of a game that might not come out for another year. That was really awesome. And they also never figured out a way to translate that to digital. So I think a lot of the things that made it special, namely community gathering in one place, in celebration of a shared passion, and that includes cosplay and all that kind of stuff, and being able to actually get hands-on demos where you can try out games for yourself before they come out, not having those aspects to it, I think, hurt them a lot. Beertastic Yogi says, do we even need E3 anymore? And that's the question, right? Rob K says, I'm tired of virtual cons. Me too. Me too. Jimmy Sprinkle says, I also sat on that motorcycle. I almost fell off too. Oh no, I'm so sorry that you almost fell off. Shade X says, I've never attended an event myself, so I can't comment on that. But hey, not easy affording travel to USA, both money and time-wise for me. I totally get that. The after parties were fun, that's for sure. Dante says E3 was drastically more grandiose than the smaller installations of individual publishers. I don't want it to go. Yeah, it was this big thing. And I mean, Summer Games Fest is trying to be a big thing and a huge celebration. We don't know what it's going to look like yet. Last year it was a lot of, digital keynotes with hosty bits in between. So again, kind of like a virtual con. But yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm very sad to not have the in-person E3. It doesn't make me sad that the digital component of it is going away once they'd already announced that the in-person event's going away. And on a totally personal note that has nothing to do with the industry at large, the past couple years, E3 has fallen right during when my whole extended family takes a big New Jersey beach vacation every year. And so I was flying to New Jersey and then trying to co-stream from like the beach house, which a lot of you will remember last year, which was not the most fun. So I'm hoping to actually enjoy that family vacation with my family this year. So I was kind of happy that digital E3 got canceled for those purposes. But we'll see. We still don't know the schedule of Summer Games Fest, so who knows? In prior years, E3 was always the week before my family vacation, so I could bust my butt at E3 all week and then fly and be on vacation for a week, and it worked out beautifully. But yeah, the past couple of years have been tough. Tyler Lawson says, plus games go into early release so often. Note that E3 doesn't have anything that unique other than just being a gathering. Yeah, I mean, getting the early hands-on was cool when that problem. But the first part of what Tyler said was, I think the other problem is games usually announce way before they're ready to release. So there isn't anything to play at E3 that you saw at the keynote. Oh yeah, unless you saw something at the keynote that wasn't an announcement, it was like a gameplay trailer or something like that, and they were finally ready, sometimes there'd be it. Dante says it's like losing Comic-Con and being stuck with tiny conventions. It's just not the same. I get it. I totally get it. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the future of E3. If it is, in fact, going to come back in 2023 like they say it's going to, or if this is just the end of E3 as we know it. That might have to do with how successful Summer Games Fest is, and what we're looking like as far as in-person events moving into next year. All right, in other news, a new Tomb Raider game was announced. Huzzah, all the Lara Croft fans rejoice. With Unreal Engine 5. All the Unreal Engine 5 fans rejoice. So Unreal Engine 5 is now available to all developers after previously being in early access back in May of last year. And according to the announcement blog post on the Unreal Engine website, quote, with this release, we aim to empower both large and small teams to really push the boundaries of what's possible visually and interactively. Unreal Engine 5 will enable you to realize next-generation real-time 3D content and experiences with greater freedom, fidelity, and flexibility than ever before. Now, UE5 was previously showcased in Fortnite a little bit and in the Matrix Awakens demo, if anyone got a chance to be hands-on with that. And basically the new features of it include next-generation real-time rendering, new open-world toolset, built-in character and animation tools. There's an in-editor modeling, UV editing, and baking, as well as enhanced editor UI. So it's not only used in the gaming industry, I should say as well, but also in television and film, and in the architectural fashion, and I think design creative spaces as well. Like, it really is a game changer. I don't know if any of you work with UE5 and if you have personal experience with it, but I would love to hear that in chat if you do. So Crystal Dynamics, Tomb Raider franchise general manager, came out and said it's going to be a high-quality cinematic action-adventure experience, but showed no gameplay or images. We didn't even get, like, a release window or title or anything, but they're looking to push the envelope of fidelity. So this will be the first time a new mainline Tomb Raider game has come out since Shadow of the Tomb Raider in 2018. So my question to you guys is, are you UE5 fans, if you work with them? I know that's probably a minority of the people watching this, though. And secondly, were you a fan of the most recent Tomb Raider games, and are you hyped for another one? Let me know. Steven, thank you for the super chat. Says, now that the Origin trilogy is done, I hope they give us a more confident, badass Lara Croft. That is certainly valid, and I have seen that opinion quite a bit online. Dante says, I love Tomb Raider. But yeah, I mean, we saw like Lara kind of coming up and, you know, trying to earn that confidence was the story I think they were telling. But a lot of us more used to a more seasoned, more confident Lara Croft. It was a little strange. Jimmy Sprinkle says Tomb Raider was fun. I haven't played it in some time, though. DJ David says, sweet, well done, but when is it out? Right? I know. That's what a lot of us are saying. Beartastic Yogi, I totally agree with you. You said the Matrix demo was enough to make me a UE5 fan. I'm totally with you on that. I think it looks beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Dante says, I like them, but I want actual regular tomb rating. Yeah, please and thank you. I'm with you on that as well. Tyler Lawson says, I love Lara Croft as a character. The new Tomb Raider games aren't my style, but I'm glad they got made. Honestly, I think that's about where I'm sitting with it too. I didn't finish the new Tomb Raider games, but I do love Lara Croft, and I don't know what it was about the gameplay of the new games that didn't keep me. But I am glad that they got made and that the series is still continuing and living and breathing. Rob K, thank you for the super chat. Says, aside from a new Tony Hawk Pro Skater game, a new Tomb Raider game is the best retro gaming news I could hear. I'll be camping out in front of my local retail stores the night before. Keep up the great content, Trisha. You're very kind, Rob, and I'm so glad to hear that you're so hyped about it. Steven says, I just hope they give us a pixel skin for the main game. Classic pointy Lara. Dude, I love pointy boobs Lara Croft. I am into it. In fact, I want to do a classic Lara Croft cosplay at some point. It just hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I'm all for the retro look. I think it's great. Dante said, you think it was too much survival stuff in the new Tomb Raider. And Cristobal, thank you for your compliments on the studio tour. I'm glad you liked that video. You know, I'm trying to post some stuff on here every now and then. So from Barian Annotation says, the Coalition's video on UE5 seems like a game changer, especially for next-gen and indie games. It's accessible. Tomb Raider is probably still 3 to 4 years away. Crystal Dynamics is making Perfect Dark. Do the cosplay. I love that you just kind of bullet pointed all of your thoughts for us, and that was perfect. Yeah, Steven says it's not surprising that Lara is my kind of character that I would want to cosplay and that I really enjoy seeing in action. I'm all for strong female figures. You know it. But yes, Steven says UE5 does look amazing. I think BioWare is doing it too. Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for what that can bring to games and, you know, like Marion said, for indie games as well, because it's so accessible. That'll be cool. All right, speaking of more games coming, Max Payne 1 and 2 are getting a remake. So Remedy, who you know that I love from Control and the Alan Wake games, Remedy and Rockstar Games have announced that they're remaking Max Payne and Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. Interestingly enough, I never got super into the Max Payne games, just because I haven't had a chance to. Not because like I tried them and they weren't for me, I just haven't had a chance to. But I have so many friends that are like, oh my god, Max Payne is the best thing ever. So Remedy will be working with Rockstar under a new publishing agreement to remake the first 2 Max Payne games for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. And Remedy will handle the development while Rockstar is going to finance the project. And they said that the Max Payne remakes will also be developed on Remedy's Northlight game engine, the same engine used to develop Control and the upcoming Alan Wake 2. I'm hoping that Alan Wake 2 is not as clunky as the first Alan Wake, because I would really like to play through and enjoy it. I love the story. There you go. That's my my little blurb about Alan Wake. So Rockstar founder Sam Houser says, we were thrilled when our longtime friends at Remedy approached us about remaking the original Max Payne games. We are massive fans of the work that the Remedy team has created over the years, and we can't wait to play these new versions. And from what we can see, the project does sound like a full remake, given that it will be developed on Remedy's newest engine and will have a matching AAA budget. So it's not just going to be like a small update. It'll be a full remake, which is cool. So I asked you, are you fans of the Max Payne franchise? And if so, why? Chicago says, I only beat the first one in the reboot series. You're talking about Lara Croft. Barian says, loved Max Payne 3. Dante says, I am so stoked for Max Payne remakes. Steven says, I only played Max Payne 3, but I really liked it. And yeah, Adam says, very fond memories. A lot of you are huge Max Payne fans, much like my I said friends that are also fans. New word, coining it, frans. A lot of you are Max Payne fans. The Control platform was fab. Totally agree. You know that's one of my top 5 games of all time. I loved Control. Beardtastic Yogi says Max Payne with Control graphics is a winner. Totally. Lack of Word says Max Payne comic book vibe was novel for me at the time. Not sure how it aged though. So maybe a remake would appeal to you in that way. ShadeX, thank you so much for the super chat, says, hyped for Max Payne games. They're great. Hope they don't remove my friend's Easter egg, Stay Frosty Baskinator. Catherine would be devastated too. Oh, that's so cool that you have that personal tie-in. I love that. Slick Deals. Oh, Slick Deals is in chat. Huzzah! Welcome. Says, I love anything noir or neo-noir. So Max Payne is a chef's kiss. Folks, Slick Deals is a YouTube channel that I am doing new videos with. And in fact, we just had one go out today. I have it playlisted on this channel under tech. I think it's under tech. I probably should have been under gaming, but it is playlisted here on this YouTube channel if you want to check it out. But go give them some love. They're amazing. And like I said, a new channel that I'll be hosting some videos for coming up, which is very cool. Thank you guys for being here. But yeah, so that's the deal with Max Payne 1 and 2. I think a lot of people are excited for it. I am looking forward to seeing more from Remedy's Northlight engine. I'm very, very excited about that because you know that I love me some Control. All right, in very strange news to me, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, so I'm looking forward to hearing how you guys feel about it. Epic Games and Lego are collaborating to create a kid-friendly metaverse. I don't love that they're using the word metaverse because I don't think it actually has anything to do with Facebook, and I attribute that name now to Facebook. But basically, Epic Games and the Lego Group have announced a new collaboration to work together to create a child-friendly space within the metaverse, if you will. A statement following the announcement mentioned the two companies will team up to build an immersive, creatively inspiring, and engaging digital experience for kids of all ages to enjoy together. So my question is this in VR? Is it just supposed to be like a super kid-friendly, moderated Roblox community-esque? But they say that the digital space will be governed by 3 principles agreed upon by Lego and Epic Games: protect children's right to play by making safety and well-being a priority, safeguard children's privacy by putting their best interests first, and empower children and adults with tools that give them control over their digital experience. So specific details about whatever this digital experience is have not been addressed, but they keep saying it's going to be family-friendly and provide children with tools that provide play opportunities in a safe and positive space. So does that mean it's like a create space, again, like a Roblox? Is it in VR? Because I'm like, last I read, kids under 13 shouldn't even be strapping anything VR or AR related to their faces because they don't know how it affects their little developing brains with the screen being that close to their eyeballs. And it makes me very nervous. Anything that is a major company kind of dictating a safe space for kids, like we saw how that worked with YouTube Kids. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. We saw lots of online communities that are trying to be predominantly focused at kids with bad actors still being able to get through. And as someone who has a little kid, I would be terrified. So I guess to some of you who are parents, how do you feel about this? Would you feel comfortable with this? Let's see. ShadeX, I will definitely check out the original Max Payne games. Jane Higginson says, sounds Roblox to me. Jimmy says, it's a nice idea, but it will probably turn into VR chat. Right, that's what I'm thinking, like VR chat for kids, which makes me very uncomfortable. Barian says, well, I love my Lego Back to the Future set, and Lego Skywalker Saga is great and personally turned off by all things metaverse. Yes, I am also with you there. Then Steven says, or here's a thought, we don't try to get kids addicted to social media and tank their emotional self-esteem. Just a thought. I do think that online gaming is inherently different from social media, but I definitely see what you're saying. Just any kind of online community that is kid-focused, I would want so much parental supervision over that. And like, who makes the rules? And are those, like, every house, every parent I know has different rules in their house. In my house, fart is not a bad word. Logan can say fart all he wants. But in another house, fart might be a bad word. And so, like, who's making the rules for this online metaverse? You know, it's, I don't know. Beardtastic says, too many predatory folks online to trust anything just tailored for kids. Christian Polson says, I highly doubt that Lego would risk their brand on something which is not 100% safe, which is a good other side of the coin. Yeah, so I love the Lego games for kids. Logan is almost at the age where we can play those together, and I really look forward to it. It's a really great, wholesome co-op experience, and I think that'll be awesome. But yeah, and Lego is a great brand. I love Lego and I love their games. And I love that people are like, let's make something that's wholesome and safe, specifically geared towards the youngins. But yeah, the whole metaverse aspect to it makes me feel very VR chat, which makes me feel, as a parent, very unsafe. Rob K says, I'm 33 and I'm afraid of online gaming chats. That's too real. Yeah, that's too real for sure. There's zero chance its weird things won't slip through the cracks. I agree with you, Dante. Perhaps this will teach kids about the rebellion and anarchy against the man. I mean, I don't know. Shadex says, yeah, Lego would definitely want to keep a kid safe. It's very hard to, though, with online gaming. So, I mean, yay that you're looking out for the kids. I don't know how I feel about a children's metaverse. It's interesting. We will watch as this news story progresses, is what I will say. Because again, we still don't have a lot of numbers on it. All right, moving on to Witcher 3, and not Witcher 3 the game, but Witcher's third season on the Netflix series, which I love and I'm a huge fan of, and have defended multiple times on Rotten Tomatoes for their poor score. Not too poor, but like not as awesome as the audience score for season 1. Anyway, big Witcher fan. Love the books, love the games, love the series. So Netflix announced production for The Witcher season 3. They've announced that it has begun. All of our favorite actors are returning. Netflix shared a photo from the snowy set featuring Yennefer, Ciri, and Geralt, all in a like snowy backdrop, ready to start filming the next chapter, which was very cool. And season 3 is based on the second novel in the Witcher saga, focusing on the rising tensions between the Northern Kingdoms and Nilfgaard. And I'm actually re-listening to, on audiobook, that novel right now, so that I'm like ready to go as we jump in there. I'm liking on my reread to stay like just ahead of it, which is really fun. Are you guys into the series? This is my question for you. And also, just as like a little extra tidbit in case you had not read this, the cast and showrunner of The Witcher has previously spoken about the future direction of the show's planned 7 seasons, how the original novels will be the guiding light. Thank you. Don't pull a Game of Thrones on me. And Henry Cavill revealed his hopes for season 3 to be loyal to the books as well, without too much in the way of diversions. And especially when it comes to the relationships between the 3 core characters. Because I love the book so much and I think they're so awesome. I know a lot of people that were comparing the series on Netflix just to the games felt very like, what's happening here? But the series is actually very faithful to the books. Like I would say as much so as the early seasons of Game of Thrones. There's slight diversions, but for the most part, it's very, very faithful. So I've been loving it, and I wonder if maybe I'm liking it more than other people because I have read the books. I don't know. Yeah, see, and Summoner says season 3. I haven't even watched season 2 because 1 was glacial pacing. Not for everybody. I loved it, but not for everybody. Dante thought the second season was drastically better. No more convoluted storytelling. And see, and again, I didn't mind the convoluted storytelling because the book it was based on is a series of short stories. So it made sense that season 1 would be very disjointed to me. But again, I totally understand where if you're not coming from that perspective, it could have felt very weird. Stephen Summers, I really like the audiobook version of it. Maud Garrett does not. She hates the narrator and can't listen to it. But I'm really enjoying it. Nate really liked them. So to each their own. Beardtastic Yogi says, someday I'll go back and finish season 1. You guys are shocking me. I'm like living for it the same way that I lived for early Game of Thrones seasons. Steven says, is it wrong I'm on Team Nilfgaard? Yes. And I agree. Slick Deal says it's super cool to know that Henry Cavill's a super fan of The Witcher and a gamer himself. I heard that he's the one who like kept urging the series to get made. Very much in like a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool kind of situation. Like he was like, well, this needs to get made. I need to play Geralt. Like he's like a huge fan. And I love that. I love seeing it from a fan-driven perspective first. And I think honestly, that's probably part of the reason why it is so faithful to the books. It's great. Rob K says, I'm too involved in everything Star Wars to watch The Witcher. My dude, why not both? Why does it have to be an either or? Jane says, loving the Netflix series. I love Henry Cavill and all the cast. I have all 3 games to play, only on the first game right now. Also have the first book to read. Get it, Jane! I'm so excited for you. Read the first 2 short story books first before you delve into the trilogy. But yes, I'm excited for you. Brett says, I have not read the books, but I love the show. Okay, good. So it's not just because I've read the books that I love it so much. Steven says, I hope Yaskier grows into dandelion or dandelion, depending how you pronounce it. Finally, it's just a different translation of the name. Same person, just different translation of the name. Jaskier is the original Polish, and dandelion is what they translated it to for the English version of the books and the games. Tyler says, I think they're handling it way better than the Halo series. Ooh, shots fired at the Halo series, which I'm also enjoying. I know not everybody is. I'm also enjoying it. Beertastic Yogi says, how many books are there? It depends how deep you want to go. There is a main trilogy, and there are 2 short story books before the main trilogy, and I forget how many after the main trilogy. But, like, the main is the main 3, and then you can read all the other stuff. But there's a lot of books. Jane says, which are the 2 short stories? The Last Wish, and what is the other one called? But there's 2 that are kind of like prequel short story books that you should read before the main trilogy that kind of do a lot of world building and world setting. And that's what the first, like, basically 2 seasons, really the first season, were based on for the Netflix series. Rob says, I'm saving brain cells for Kenobi, not The Witcher. Why not both? Watch both. Church says, I just jumped in. What are we talking about? We are currently talking about The Witcher Season 3 on Netflix and how they've begun production and how that's very exciting. Jane says, ooh, okay, I think I have The Last Wish. Perfect. Yeah. Tyler says, I think Halo would have been better as its own thing rather than taking Halo's name. Maybe. But I'm enjoying this series just as like a good sci-fi series, especially now that The Expanse is done. It's tricky. It's tricky. All right, in quick hits news, my friends, the BAFTA 2022 winners, that happened on April 7th, so the winners have been announced. That's yesterday. Returnal won Best Game of 2021. Yay! Other notable winners included Best British Game went to Forza Horizon 5, Best Animation went to Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Best Artistic Achievement went to The Artful Escape, which I still need to play more of. We played it on Gong Show. I think it actually might be an example of a game we played on Gong Show that, like, Gong Show audience gonged, and I was like, oh no, this is an amazing game, but okay. Oh, if you will do that, you shall. Best Narrative went to Unpacking. Best Game Design went to Inscription, which I also want to play more of. And Best Multiplayer Game went to It Takes Two. Cheers and congrats to all of the BAFTA winners. There was a new Elden Ring patch that buffs a boss that was like previously unintentionally nerfed. If you are into Elden Ring news, you might want to follow up on that. And Kirby is now the only Nintendo character to have a Grammy. Fun facts for the day. And Kirby himself didn't win the Grammy, to be more specific. Charlie Rosen and Jake Silverman's 8-bit Big Band won Best Arrangement, Instrumental, or A Cappella for their rendition of the 1996 Kirby Superstar song, Meta Knight's Revenge. Excuse me, I just had a little burp. It's the bubbly drink. But yeah, 8-bit, if you don't know 8-bit Big Band, because I had to look them up and I was looking this up, it's a 30 to 65 member orchestra that specializes in jazzy renditions of music from popular video game franchises. And I was like, how do I not know them already? So very exciting. 8-bit Big Band. Look them up. Congrats on your Emmy. Again, cheers. Cheers to the video game winners. Kirby what? Says DJ David. Christian Poulsen says our decisions are superior and they are just outing themselves for taking bribes from the devs. No way, Sauce. The Artful Escape's amazing. Beertastic Yogi says their music is awesome. Okay, good. It does sound fun. Dante says jazz. Oh no. Jazzy renditions. Big band, jazzy renditions. I guess Kotaku made a note that Journey was snubbed for Best Score soundtrack for visual media in 2013, which is true. That is very, very true. I don't know why I wrote that down, but I did. Probably because I love Journey so much. Let's see. Jane says, I saw some shots of Jennifer Hale and Anjali Bhimani at the BAFTAs and they look fab. I know, Anjali dressed as a BAFTA. It was amazing. She did awesome and I was into it. And now we are just debating whether or not we like jazz in chat, which is also fine. When I'm in the right mood for jazz, jazz can be cool. I like to listen to live jazz. Like, it's interesting to me how people all work together. Anyway, we have wrapped out all of the gaming headlines that I wanted to talk about this week. So let me know if there's anything else you want to chat about. And I hope that you all have a fantastic weekend. And, whatever you're drinking this wonderful Friday, you are enjoying yourself. I'm excited. I'm actually going to go have dinner with Maude Garrett and Brian Forrest later this evening. I should say Brian W. Forrest. I think that's what he goes by now. But we're all going to go out for dinner tonight, so that'll be a nice Friday night excursion that I'm pretty stoked about. Oh, and Monkey Island! Yes, Stephen Summers, you are absolutely right. How could I not mention Monkey Island? We're getting a new Monkey Island, and I'm very excited about it. The little kid in me is like, new Monkey Island! It's awesome. Oh, it's pizza time for you, Barian. That's amazing. Shadex says, yes. Monkey Island. Yes. Yes. Miyaku says, oh, I hope you and Maud have a lovely time. We aim to. We got a nice little outside table at an Italian restaurant, and I think it's going to be lovely. And then Maud and Brian are going on to a party after that, and I wanted to join them. It's one of our mutual friends' birthday parties. I wanted to join them, but next week, I will be flying to Seattle for a hosting job. And I thought being indoors with large groups of people at a party right before I have a big hosting job, probably not the best move. Because just in case I were to catch anything and get sick, I wouldn't be able to work the job, and that would be really sad. So anyway, I'm going to dinner with friends and then bailing before that. But yeah, that's my Friday. I hope whatever you guys decide to do, you have a wonderful weekend. Steven Summers says the League of Legends job. Yes, it is Intel and League of Legends is the job that I have in Seattle next week. So my stream schedule will be all over the place. But don't worry, I'll make sure to post it in Discord. So if you're not already a member of the Discord, please feel free to go ahead and join the Discord. And I'll post as much of the schedule as I can as I know it. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you are in a happy place mentally and that you're able to stay safe and stay healthy. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. See you later.